Hey everybody, I am back with another backpacking tips video here, and today I'm going to focus on water storage. Now, most people probably don't give a lot of thought to storing water when backpacking, but I think it's worthy of at least a little bit of thought because you have to have water no matter what. So you want a system that's going to be able to carry extra water if you're in a dry area or you don't have access to water very often. But you also want that system to be able to scale down so you're not carrying a bunch of extra weight when you don't need that much water, when there's creeks everywhere or you're passing streams all the time. So with that said, let's just jump on in. I apologize if it's a little bit noisy here, it's pretty windy today. So when most people think of backpacking, they immediately think they need a Nalgene for their water storage. And to be honest, I think Nalgenes are pretty ill-suited to backpacking because they're really heavy. I think without water, this bottle alone weighs 6 ounces, maybe a little bit more. So that's a lot of weight to dedicate to carrying 1 liter of water. And yeah, it's pretty durable. It makes a great water storage thing for work, carrying water to work, so you're not constantly throwing out these plastic bottles. And that's good for the environment. But for camping, it doesn't really work out so well. Maybe car camping. Another option, and a lot of people like these, are water bladders with a hose. These are pretty convenient. Obviously, most packs have a sleeve now that surrounds this and holds it to the back of the pack, and it sometimes has a clip up here to keep it, I guess, situated right. And you'll fill this up, I think this is a 3 liter, and run the hose out the pack, and then you have really easy access to drinking water. Now, I don't prefer these bladders like this because they, when this is full, it's a pretty bulky package, and in the back of my backpack, that takes up a lot of room. So it's bulky, and also, whenever I set my pack down, the tip of the hose tends to fall into the dirt a little bit, or it leaks a little bit of water on me. Not the worst, but it's just, I don't prefer them. Some people do, so keep that in mind. This may be something that you enjoy using, but I don't care for them. So with that said, I will get into the system. This is what I used for pretty much the entire trail, and it worked great. Appalachian Trail, that is. And that is just plastic water bottles like you would get at the store. The best ones that I have come across are Smart Water, and it has nothing to do with the water but more the bottle design. It's a light plastic, it's really light, and the smaller, they come in 2 sizes. This is 700 milliliter and they come in 1 liter. I would typically get 2 1-liter bottles, and that's all I would carry, in addition to my platypus dirty water bag, which I'll describe in a second here. But the good thing about the 700 milliliter Smart Waters is the cap they come with. This cap is really easy to open with one hand. You can see, you just pop the top, and you can take a sip, close it, and then just stick it back into your backpack. So these work really great, and this is, I haven't actually measured it, but it's got to be under 2 ounces maybe. So that saves maybe a little bit more than 4 ounces over a Nalgene, which is a great weight savings, and you're not losing any function. And this is going to be just as durable. I mean, it's not rigid like the Nalgene is, but because it's not, I would say that it absorbs impacts better, and it's not going to break on you. I carried Smart Waters. I think the longest I had one was maybe 3 months, and I only threw it out because it started to get pretty grimy. And that's really the only thing you have to worry about with these. So anyways, the Smart Water, great bottle. I like this cap, but unfortunately that cap only comes on the 700 milliliter. So I would typically buy one of these, and then when I bought a 1 liter, which is a little bit bigger, and it's actually the same size diameter, which works out great, I would switch this cap over to the 1 liter. But anyways, you don't have to use smart water bottles. You can use any generic water bottle and they'll probably work great for you. Also, Gatorade bottles work well. They're a little bit heavier and thicker, and they have a wider mouth that may appeal to you, so keep that in mind. But anyways, for my primary drinking water, clean water storage, I would keep 2 water bottles, one on each side of my pack for my storage. Now, some people, to save a little bit more weight, and this is a little bit lighter than this, some people opt to use these soft bladder bags similar to this one but smaller for their drinking water bags. I don't prefer this, and I'll show you why real quick here. The weight savings are pretty minimal, but the biggest thing for me is I don't like to take off my pack to take a drink, so typically these smart water bottles are great because they just slide right in. I can reach behind my back without taking off my pack, slide it out, take a sip. I could even throw it back in down here or up here. But with these soft bladders, it's tough to get these in one-handed, if not impossible. It's kind of takes a good hand and they tend to snag on the netting. And these edges can sometimes pull the netting here, rip it a little bit. So I don't care to use these for my normal drinking water bags, but they do save a little bit of weight. So if that's what you want to do, you can go with these. So anyways, 2 plastic bottles for the drinking water, and then for my dirty water collection, and if I ever have to store extra water in case it's hot and there's not a lot of water sources, I use my 2-liter platypus bag. And I've shown this in lots of other videos, and it's a great bag. It lasted the entire trail, still going strong. But yeah, I mean, I would collect my dirty water in this, attach my Sawyer Squeeze filter, and filter the water into my 2 clean bottles and then drink from those. And if I ever ran into stretches where I needed to carry extra water, like I think one time in New York and in Pennsylvania a couple times, I would just fill this bag up and throw it into my pack. So this makes a great dirty water bag. I never really had trouble collecting water from different sources in this bag. Maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the entire trail I would have to scoop water with my pot and put it into here just because the water source was so shallow and stuff. But most times a platypus is fine on the Appalachian Trail. For other trails you may have to use something to scoop water into this, so keep that in mind. But I updated my other video, and I'll show it here. Apparently the newer platypus bags don't work well with the Sawyer Squeeze, so if you're having that problem, you may want to check out Evernew bags. Evernew is just a different brand, and their threading works much better with the Sawyer Squeeze. I haven't been having trouble, but apparently this is an older platypus bag. And also, another benefit of carrying these standard water bottles, I guess you would call them, is that the threading on these bottles works perfectly fine with the Sawyer Squeeze. So if for some reason your bag didn't work out, you can just use this bottle to filter your water. And that's a great backup system, and it doesn't cost you any extra weight. So that about covers what I would do for water storage, and your mileage is obviously going to vary based on your preferences. One thing I do want to mention here is for all you people that use Steri-Pens. I know a lot of people that use Steri-Pens tend to favor Nalgenes because they have this wide mouth, and that allows you to dip the Steri-Pen into the water and get it deep enough to actually purify the water, sorry. But what you may not know is that Gatorade bottles have this wider mouth, and it is actually just wide enough, if you fill it all the way up with water, to fit the SteriPen down in. So these make a great lightweight SteriPen water bottle. I actually prefer the bigger Gatorade bottles. They hold a little bit more water, and they fit the SteriPen a little bit better. But if you want to save weight but still use your SteriPen, think about using a Gatorade bottle. So anyways, that about covers water storage here, and I will be making more videos soon. If you have any videos you want to see made, or if you have any ideas for a video, just submit them in the comments, and I'll try to, if enough people want to see that type of video, I'll try to make one. And I've got some more updates coming. I've got a general update, hopefully with some exciting news. I may be working on the trail this year, so that should be cool. And I will talk to you later.